Alright class, so now that we know how to do markups, we're going to do markdowns. And for markdowns, I want to take a look at Black Friday. So the history of Black Friday. How did Black Friday come about? So I got an article here that we're going to get and read, and then we're going to share our experiences, if any of us have actually experienced a Black Friday event. So take one, pass it down, go ahead and read it within your groups. Okay, so we read it, we come back, we talk about it, we discussed about experiences of Black Fridays and the article, any kind of thoughts we had about the article. Alright, so now let's look at this markdown problem. So we have a $300 mountain bike that is discounted at 30%, and then it's additional 10% if we arrive at the store and we buy between 5 a.m. and 10 a.m. So what's the final price of the bike? Okay, let's figure that out. Two steps to finding this out. First, figure out what the 30% discount is, that price, and then we find out how much it is after the additional 10%. So it's a two-step process that we're going to be doing. Let's go ahead and do the first one. So the whole, what's the whole? The whole is the original price. So it's $300. The quantity. Again, percent. How do we figure out the percent? So yeah, so the percent is 1 minus or plus the discount, or the percent that we're given. In this case, it's a markdown, so it's a decrease. So we're going to subtract it. So it's going to be 1 minus what? 0.3. How did you get that 0.3? It's 30%, and then you just convert it into a decimal. So we get quantity 0.7 times your whole, which is 300. That gives us what? Can I get a volunteer, please? Go ahead and plug it in your calculator. Tell me what 0.7 times 300 is. Thank you. 210. So what is that 210? So that 210 is how much the bike is after that 30%. So now let's try to figure out how much is the additional 10%, because we got there between 5 and 10. So we're buying it. So we have a new whole now. It's not 300 no more. What is it? Yep, it's 210. So we're going to do the same process again. Just instead of the 300, we're going to use 210, and instead of the 30%, we're going to use 10%. So the percent, again, 1, are we subtracting or adding? Yep, we're subtracting. 1 minus what? The 10%, which is 0.1. So they're going to give us 0.9 times the whole. In this case, it's 210. How much is it after the 10% discount? Yep, 189. So it's $189. We buy it with the 30% and then the additional 10%. Okay, so now let's say that you and your mom, you and your mom are walking out of the store, and then you notice in the receipt that the cashier actually charges 10% first and then the 30%. Are you going to go back and tell them to correct it, or are you going to go home and say it's the same thing? So in other words, what I'm asking is there a difference if you take the 30% and then the 10% compared to the 10% and then the 30%? Well, let's find out. So we're going to do the same thing again, but instead of doing the 30 and then the 10, we're going to do the 10 and then the 30. So your whole, again, is your 300, because that's what we're starting off with. And then, so we're going to have your quantity minus your percent. We already figured out what the percent is, because it's 10, so it's going to be 0.9 times 300. And somebody tell me what 0.9 times 300 is? Thank you. It's 270. So it's $270 when you first take the 10%. Okay? So now we're going to do that additional 30%. So your new whole, what's your new whole now? It's not 300, it's going to be 270. And again, we're going to do the same process again that we did the same step, but just in this time it's going to be 30%. So 1 minus 30% is 70%. Turn it to a decimal, 0.7. What does that give me? Yep, $189. So does it matter what order you take the percent? Doesn't matter. If I were you, I'll just go home and pretend like it never happened. Just hold on to your receipt. Okay, so now that we did markups and we did markdowns, let's go ahead and take a couple of examples. We're going to go ahead and work them in with your groups or your partners. The first one, it says Jacob went to a Best Buy and decided to purchase a new movie that's 10%. This is during Black Friday. So it's 10% regular price, but if he shows up today, he's going to get an additional 5%. So what's the final price after the 10% and then the 5%? So figure that one out. Again, use that two-step process to figure that final price. Okay, and the second problem is the markup. And the markup has a sports outlet store purchase a set of baseball bats at wholesale price at $300. But Mr. Jimenez learned that the bats were marked up 200%. Is it possible to have a percent increase greater than 100%? And then the second part is going to be, what is the retail price of the bats? So figure that one out with your groups, and we come back and discuss what we found. So we're going to come back as a class, we discuss what the solutions were, how do you figure that out. And then, so again, your homework, it's online, so make sure you get those problems done in like tomorrow. We're going to review them in the morning. So before we leave, I got one question for you. How do we find a markup and a markdown on an item? Johnny? Right. So a markup on an item, all you gotta do is you're gonna get 1 minus the percent if it's a markdown, or 1 plus the percent if it's a markup. Then you get that percent, and you're gonna send it times the whole, and that gives you the final price. Okay? All right. Well, thank you. Have a good day. See you guys tomorrow.